Hello YouTube. How have y'all been? I've been chilling. I've been well. If y'all been good, y'all been chilling, that's good. If y'all haven't, then brighten up, because for today's video we will be discussing predictions on what will be happening on chapters 250 of Blue Lock. So let's get into it. But before we get further into the video, I just want to call myself out for pronouncing Lavinho's name wrong last video. I pronounced it Lavinho in Bachira's video when it was Lavinho. So thank you to that comment that put me in my place and corrected me. Also forgive my performance from last video. It was my first time doing a video like that and I was nervous, but now we're good, we're ready, we're energized. Let's get into this video. Now, if y'all have seen the previous video, y'all should know by now. Before I get furthermore into this video, spoiler warning, if y'all have not read the manga, please do not continue on with this video. I repeat, if y'all have not read the manga, do not continue on with this video. There may be content that may be sensitive to the viewer's eyes. Please and thank you. Now, looking at the previous video that most of y'all have watched, I'm already guessing y'all know who I'm gonna favorite in this upcoming match, but I'm not gonna let my favoritism get in the way of this discussion of this video. Now, in order to prove to y'all that I'm not gonna favorite anyone and be biased, I'm gonna bring up every feat of everyone on the team and show each one team's scores and assists and goals throughout the whole Neo Egoist League and their performance. Judging based off of all of that, I'll come up with two predictions on what will be going on in chapters 250 of Blue Lock. Now, to start off the video, we'll start off with Manshine City. And the first one up is no other than the master of the Manshine City team, Prince. Chris Prince, hence the perfect hero, comes from his obsession with perfection. His philosophy is to have a perfect physique, to harbor the madness, to change the world. His philosophy stops players from training blindly to develop an unbalanced body so that their talents don't start to fade. He believes once a player understands which muscles enhance their skills and help them execute the place they want, they could develop a perfect unbeatable body. But Chris doesn't only believe in his perfect unbeatable body, but also his body revolution. This question helps Chris identify the ideal of his players. He believes that these identities will shape the kind of players they will become in the future. And if they ever fail to match that ideal, the frustration that follows will fuel their ego and push them forward. This frustration also serves as motivation. After all, no one can stay positive all the time of the day. This formula, Body X Ideals, made by the Prince's philosophy, is a formula made to make a perfect Manshine City striker. This body revolution is the key reason why Blue Lock players in Manshine City unlock their potential and evolve. As we get through chapters 170 through 173, we finally see the match between Manshine City and Bastard Manic start. Going more into the chapters, in chapter 192, we see Chris sub in for the 3 minutes Master Strikers have. Before the match starts, we see Noah sub in since Chris subbed in and they interacted, indicating that Chris was either second best to him or on par with him. Furthermore, as we see Noah and Chris interact continuously, we see Chris getting irritated by Noah taunting him for being number 2. More into the game, we see both teams change formations before the match starts and Chris challenges his team to being the hero of the match. As the match starts, we see Chris trick Kaiser, a generational superstar, and Noel, Noah's disciple, into 1v1 and then gets locked up after Kaiser tries to show his dominance. As we go to the next chapter, we see Chirigi pass Chris the ball while Noah tries to get in his way, but it was too late since Chris had shot his unstoppable knuckleball. Unfortunately, Isagi and Gagumaru stopped the unstoppable knuckleball and managed to save their team and their goal. Going into chapter 195, we see Chris block Yukimiya's gyro shot with his immense aura, then afterwards calls him pathetic. Later on in chapter 198, we also see Chris get knocked back by Noah and get the ball taken away from him. To be honest, as a master striker, this is pretty disappointing with all the feats that he has, considering most of his feats are off screen, but the ones that he has on screen are just useless. And the Prince being on par with Noah thing was just completely useless, because as we see, he's definitely not on par with Noah. Another thing is he did more defending than he did striking, so I don't get how he's a master striker and not a defender. But anyways, let's move on to the team. So I'm not going to do everyone on Manshine City, but I'm just going to do the main players that have been shown like 2 to 3 times at least in the manga, so I don't waste any more extra time on these extras. So I'm going to first start with the team's formation, then I'm going to start with the people on the team. So first up, we have formation 1 for Manshine City's team. The 3-4-3 formation is a tactical setup that uses 3 central defenders, 4 midfielders, and 3 forwards to create a well-balanced team that can both defend and attack effectively. The formation typically consists of 3 center backs, 2 central midfielders, 2 wide midfielders, and a front 3 of 2 wingers and a central striker. The 3 defenders provide a solid defensive base and cover for the goalkeeper, while the midfielders provide the link between defensive and attack. The The two wingbacks offer width and support in attack while also providing cover in defense. The three forwards create a constant attacking threat and are responsible for scoring goals. For the next formation, it changes up when Chris the Master Striker joins in on the fun of the match. This formation is the 5-3-2 formation. The 5-3-2 formation is a defensive setup with 5 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 2 forwards. It's also known as the 3 at the back formation. This formation limits the space the opposing team has to operate in. This formation is also used when Chris joins and wants to score the winning goal. Now that we have discussed the formation on the team, now onto the team. The first player on the team will be no other than the OG, the Princess, the Red Panther, Hyoma Chirigi. This player is the best player on the team and is the second fastest player to Julian Loki, who is the Master Striker to the Paris team PXG. People will argue that out of the 3 on the team, Nagi is the best, but judging by his performance in the Neo Egoist League lately, he hasn't been #1 material. Even though Nagi's physical prowess is higher than Chirigi's physical, Chirigi has performed amazingly well, holding on to 2 goals in the Neo Egoist League. Chirigi's weapon is his speed, his ball control, his crossing, and controlled shots. Chirigi's evolution in the Manshine helped him create a new weapon, the 44 Panther Snipe, which is a move where Chirigi creates a golden zone at 44 degrees at 19 meters. This shot heightens Chirigi's odds of scoring a goal every time he shoots in that spot. His jersey number is 44 and he plays left wing on the Manshine City team. Now on to Seishiro Nagi. This lazy genius was stated to have the best perfect ball control in all of Blue Lock and is the author's favorite. This 6'3" second MC has shown a lot of great feats from the first to third selection onto his manga spin-off into the U20 game. Ever since Blue Lock has started the Neo Egoist League, Nagi went from doing good in the Manshine vs Manic match to doing horrible in the rest of the Neo Egoist League. This is due to Nagi's lack of motivation in the Neo Egoist League. Even though he is having lack of motivation, he is still a great player and has a lot of untapped potential. Nagi performed with a total of 1 goal in the overall of the Neo Egoist League. His weapons are ball control and trapping. Thanks to Nagi being in the Manshine City team, it helped him evolve to create his new weapon, the 5-shot revolver fake volley. This weapon fakes out shots 5 times in the mid-air to avoid defenders before shooting the ball. His jersey number is 11 and plays a striker in the Manshine City team. Next up is Mikage Reo. This chameleon is the right-hand man of the lazy genius who can do everything. This right-hand man of the lazy genius can copy any move he sees with 99% accuracy. This special ability is good for assisting and controlling the match when helping the team. His weapons are Dexterity, Copycat, and Metavision, which are stacked builds that help gain control of the game. Since Reo went to Manshine, he evolved his ideology along with his physicality, helping him evolve his Copycat. Reo's jersey number is number 14 and plays center midfield on Manshine City team. Last on the list is Agi. This analyst has much knowledge when it comes to football and has an odd obsession when it comes to analyzing other players' skills. Unlike Chris Prince, Agi is shown to possess calm demeanor and rarely gets frustrated. He also analyzes players to exploit their weaknesses, to give them diagnoses, and works on their problems to improve their skills. Agi's weapons are his vertical jumps, his physicality, and his long reach. His jersey number is number 9 and plays striker in the Manshine City team. Now that we've discussed everything on the Manshine City team, now it's time to move on to the FC Barcha team. For Spain's environment, who other to start off with but the dancing butterfly, Lavinho. This master striker mentors team FC Barcha, or as we could properly call it, FC Bachira. Lavinho, the dancer, also known as the dancing butterfly, is a 5'5" Brazilian dancer who goes with the flow and is as free as liberation gets. The name Dancing Butterfly doesn't come from the graceful steps, it comes from his history of ones who get toyed with his dribbling and who fall like they're dancing. They call it the dance of defeat. Lavi's Jenga dribbling comes from capoeira, which combines martial arts and music. The word Jenga means sway and to move freely, as your upper body moves freely like it's swaying, and your feet touch the ball like they're sucking it in. Jenga dribbling isn't just about music and martial arts, it's creating your own image of what the world's best looks like. Lavinho's visualization is a butterfly, giving him free sway-like motion in his Jenga dribbling. Being the best is all about visualizing your own unique image. After Lavi explains his visualization of his own world's best, he only leaves him with that one lesson. Later on, Bachira and Lavinho have a mentor-to-student talk about Bachira's monster originality and how they could take his visualization and combine the two to make what I like to call visualization x liberation. This formula that I made takes the originality of the player's ego, combining it with what they visualize their own world's best is, creating a new liberating ego. I created this formula by panels in chapter 160 of Blue Lock, where Bachira is training, then says maybe I'll try copying Lavinho's movements. I'll mix them in my own visualization of what makes the world's best. Another panel that helped me create this formula was when Bachira told Lavinho about his monster root. Lavinho sees a lot of potential in his monster originality and tells him to evolve it to the next stage rather than abandon it. Now onto Team FC Barcha's team formation. For the first formation they have set up is the 4-3-3 formation. This setup requires 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 forwards, offering a balanced approach to attack and defend, with the midfielder playing a crucial role in connecting the game and connecting the backline to attack. This version of 4-3-3 has Bachira as center forward, Ignacio as left wing, Otoya as right wing, Gomez and Picasso as center mid, Espeso as defensive midfielder, So as left back, Luis Ruiz and Urzaze as center back, Boss as right back, and Moro as goalkeeper. For the other formation, when Lavinho joins in on the fun, the setup is him as center forward, Bachira as left wing, Otoya as right wing, and everything else the same. In this version of the formation, Lavinho likes to have fun toying with his opponents, so he has the ball most of the time, but when he doesn't, Bachira has it, with Otoya assisting him in the shadows. Now to the team of FC Bachira. First up is no other than the team itself, Meguru Bachira. This schizophrenic monster talking egoist is the best player of the team and hard carries this team when it comes to the Neo Egoist League. This player is just as liberated as Lavi is and moves as freely as if him and the ball are one. This monster's performance has been S tier since day one of Blue Lock. This player is a menace to all of society and all of Blue Lock. Not only does he hear voices in his head, but he is more willingly to catch a fade with a monstrous grin on his face. Like, look at this. You're telling me you don't see every bad thought behind those sinister eyes and that monstrous smile? This ego has gained the name Dancing Bee from his newly evolved style Monster X Jenga. This is Bachira's visualization of his own world's best. This newly evolved dribbling is a mix of Bachira's monster style with Lavi's Jenga style, allowing Bachira to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Bachira's performance in the Neo Egoist League is actually pretty impressive considering the trash team that he has. He has a total of 3 goals in the whole entire Neo Egoist League, and he made at least 1 goal on each team. His weapons are dribbling, passing, and B-shot. His position on the team when Lavinho isn't in there is CF, but when Lavinho is in there, he's left wing. His jersey number is number 8 on FC Barcha. Now onto Otoya. This Shinobi of Blue Lock doesn't have any feats aside from the Nagi spinoff in the U20 game. Now, unfortunately, due to Lavinho not technically teaching them really how to evolve their ego, Otoya didn't really evolve as much. But I guess he still got a little better, you could say. This Shinobi is right wing of FC Barcha and his jersey number is number 13. Now I wanted to do some feats on Ignacio, which is the left wing of the team formation when Bachira is FC, but he doesn't have much feats but the first selection of the game. But I'll still put up a picture so y'all know who it is. Now that we are done going through every feats of every team, now we could finally make a prediction of the game. And I'll be using text from the panels to prove why my predictions are gonna happen. Now people are saying Nagi's gonna hat trick, but I don't really know if that's gonna happen. Due to Nagi performing so bad in the Neo Egoist League, I don't really think he's gonna make a hat trick, but I think he's at least gonna make 2 goals. Now the one that I think is gonna make the first shot in the game is Chirigi. The reason why to that is because in the Bastard Manic versus Manshine City game, they hinted it when they first started off with Chirigi starting off with that 44 snipe. So I really wouldn't be surprised if they started off with Manshine getting the first goal in the game. Now for the second goal of the game, I think Bachira will be taking this goal. The reason why leads back to chapter 213 where we got to see the Egoist 4 reunite. I believe Bachira will get excited from Chirigi's goal and would think back to 213, giving him an amp up to get through Manshine and score the second goal of the game. For the third goal of the game, I think Nagi will make the goal. The reason to that is because I believe after seeing Chirigi and Bachira score, he would think back to chapters 240 to 245 where we see Nagi trying to figure out what drives him by asking Rin and Bara what drives them. Going back, I believe he will remember when Rin says what kind of baby thinks about dying when they are immediately born, and once we are born, there's only one thing to do, which is survive. We also get some from Baro later on in chapter 245 when Nagi asks him what drives him. After Baro told him, he then afterwards said, "You're not even annoying, the hell is up with that?" He then realizes Nagi is losing his ego, then says, "Go hit rock bottom, despair, and die, you wimp." All of this will help Nagi gain his ego once more, but more evolved and better than ever, causing him to make the third goal of the game. Now I believe after Chris seeing Nagi's amazing goal and the score, he decides to join in on the fun to become the hero of the game. Lavinho sees that and also joins in since he can't have Chris having all the fun. I believe Lavinho will bring it back to 2-2 after his goal on Manshine. The reason to that depended on both Master Striker's performance against the entire Neo-Egoist League, but mainly against Bastard Manic. Since FC Barcha starts off with the ball, it only makes sense that once Lavinho's feet touches that ball, ain't no one stealing it while getting their ankles took, as shown in the game against Bastard Manic. As Chris starts to get hot-headed and irritated, the match starts. Chris tries to make the winning goal, but Lavi gets in front of him to lock him up. Instead of passing, I believe he'll try to shoot his knuckleball on Lavi like he tried on Noah and try to make it into the goal. Unfortunately, Otoya, the goalkeeper, and Ignacio stops Chris's knuckleball in the air, landing in front of Nagi. As the ball is in mid-air, we go back early on into the game where Bachira scores the second goal of the game. As we move on to Nagi, we see him look at Chirigi and Bachira as he feels weak and left behind. I believe Nagi will react to his new evolution the way Bachira reacted in chapter 79 when he saw Isagi going toe-to-toe with Rin. After feeling left behind, Nagi's new reborn ego comes along as the ball is falling down to him. As the ball comes down, Bachira comes in front filled with his new evolved ego from sensing Nagi's immense reborn ego and from Chirigi becoming stronger. Bachira tries to defend as the ball falls to Nagi's feet. Nagi then tries to pull off the 5-shot revolver again. As he tries, he feints Bachira 4 times before the 5th shot. Right after the 4th feint, he shot the 5th bullet only for it to get blocked by Bachira using Lavinho's Jingo windmill flare and passes the ball to Otoya. As Bachira gets up, he goes towards the goal calling for the ball, but unfortunately Chigiri stops Otoya dead in his tracks trying to get the ball back. Otoya then passes to Ignacio so he could get through, but was stopped a few more minutes after Reo stops him by copying Chigiri's speed to try and win the game. Ignacio successfully passes the ball to Bachira as he scores the winning goal, making it FC Barcha's win. Now, some things that made me come up with this prediction leads all the way back to chapter 158, where Bachira is telling Isagi he will see him all the way at the top. After helping Isagi choose what Neo-Egoist League environment he wants, he then says that, which had me thinking because Bachira and Isagi has been the number 1 and number 2 since day 1 of Blue Lock, which is why I believe chapter 154 is foreshadowing Bachira's win in Manshine City. Another chapter that makes me believe FC Barcha will win this game leads all the way to chapter 191 when Nagi states, "Now that I've beat Isagi, what's next for me?" Meaning that he's losing his ego and he doesn't know what to do now. Now, the chapter that really made me believe that FC Barcha is going to win was chapter 238, where we see Isagi and Hiyori trying to get through the Ubers. We get to see Hiyori adapt to Isagi, causing him to tap into flow state, leading to the two of them making a goal on the Ubers. Early on, when Hiyori was entering flow state, he was thinking about visualizing his own world's best, which made him fully unlock flow state and helping Isagi make a goal. This pertains back to the formula I made for Lavinho and his team by visualizing your own world's best while having freedom and fun. Visualization X liberation. This formula goal will make Bachira tap more into his flow state and evolve even more to score the winning goal and win it for FC Barcha. Now, the second prediction is as the ball falls into Nagi's feet, he creates a new weapon called the 6-shooter Russian roulette. This is where Nagi feints Bachira 5 times, shooting the 6th one with immense force and scoring the winning goal, making Manshine City the winners. Now, just like prediction 1, I also have chapters pertaining to prediction 2. Chapters 240 through 245 with Rin and Baro plays a huge part in helping Nagi find his new reborn ego. But the chapter that really made me come up with this prediction was chapter 295 when Nagi told Reo they gotta lock in. That, and he's the author's favorite, so it wouldn't surprise me if they won. But that's it for today's video, YouTube. Thank you for watching. As always, stay tuned for more videos like this. And remember, YouTube,
don't have a good day. Have a great day.